I have my Wisdom Tree Kickstarter collection. Super Noah's Ark, and a bunch of collections. So, first we'll go with Nintendo. No card inserted. Okay, let's try that again. Loading unknown card. Sometimes unload cards work, so we're going to try it. Okay, so what I have here, this is a homebrew cart, and this is the Wisdom Tree Kickstarter cart. You can see the screws are both copies. This game on the top is actually a Japanese game that has been patched into English and then put on the cart. So if this works and this doesn't, that's going to show you how cheap this really is. So we're going to try this right now. Keep in mind, reproduction that has been patched and translated into English, then put on here. Works first try. Hold on, loading. Back to the Future. Works first try. First try. You know what? Yeah, I don't have enough buttons because I'm using a Nintendo controller and it's a Super Nintendo game. But I just want to see some sort of gameplay here to make sure my Retron 5 isn't broken. I don't really use my Retron 5 that much anymore, but I thought this would be a perfect time to use it. But I'm starting to get a little angry here. Okay, well, this obviously works. I don't have enough buttons to play, so whatever. But it works. Homebrew, first try, works. Official Kickstarter, basically a homebrew. It looks like they went to the same person. Because these carts are like the exact same. Labels are like the exact same. The only thing that's different is the back, and that's just because this is a Nintendo label. They couldn't use one that has the SNS, Nintendo made in Japan. This is made in China here. But you know what's funny? This is actually made in China because this is just a reproduction. So this label that says made in Japan is actually wrong. This is made in China. But it looks like my reproduction that I ordered from China is better than their reproduction that they ordered from China. It doesn't even load. Nothing at all. So here, let me try Back to the Future one more time. If it loads on the first try again, then that's loading, loaded. Okay, well, I guess let's try Nintendo again. Loading, unknown. We'll try and watch. Load. It's gonna be all scrambled. Yeah, okay. Return to the main menu. So yeah, anybody who doubts my Retron 5, here, look. Put in Noah's Ark. No go. Noah's Ark 3D. Try again. Nothing. Doesn't even load. This light should go to the console that it's on, and then it should load it. While it's loading, it should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's check it out. There you go. And if you think I put it in different, let me put this in the exact same way. So I was going to have a 5-minute review of, the Wisdom Tree Kickstarter, but I guess this is the 5-minute review. This one, the Nintendo one, sometimes at least tries to load, but the Super Nintendo and the Genesis one don't even try. It tries to load, but then it just says unknown cartridge. Alright, well, looks like I'm going to have to contact the Wisdom Tree staff and see what's going on here. So anyways, I contact Wisdom Tree, let them know I purchased 3 games that don't work. And I said, I did record video proof. I'm just curious, how do you want to proceed? They say it's a bit odd that none of the games work, especially since they tested them. And they tell me to send them back. Like I say, I have to spend more money. I've already spent $90 on these 3 cartridges. Now I have to spend more money to mail them back. First of all, they didn't offer to pay for the shipping. If they were defective, maybe they should have offered to pay for the shipping. Maybe they could have said, we'll pay for the shipping, but if it turns out they're not defective, then you're going to have to pay for the shipping to get them back. Maybe something along those lines. So anyways, I can't believe there's not a cheaper way, basically. Like, I don't understand why the first resort is to mail them back. You can't view the video. So I say, are you sure? I just told you I made a video. So they say they'll watch the video, but they really need to see that they weren't tampered with. So are they saying that I tampered with these games? Because it's very weird that all 3 games don't work, right? Very weird, in all capitals. Apparently, everybody else's games have worked with 100% no problems, and I'm like the only person that has problems. So anyways, I continue to tell them, yeah, you use cheap plastic screws on the cart. If I was to open this up and tamper with it, the cheap plastic screws would show it. I've ordered reproductions from China, and they were better quality than this, so I told him that. And so, I tell him I have a problem with the carts, and all he can say is, that I tampered with them. Or that he needs to make sure they're not tampered with. So then he tells me all I'm doing is complaining, and that he did not request that I open the game carts. Yeah, of course you didn't request that I open them, because you request that I send them back so you can open them. Why don't you have me open them on video? Why don't you request, or why don't you ask? Why don't you try and dwell further into this situation? So anyways, yeah, like he says, frankly, I don't care if you buy games from China that are better quality. He cares about the current issue. So it seems like they kind of know that their games are cheap. And the funny thing is, he says, if you want me to resolve this issue, you need to message me in a respectful manner. You know what, though? I'm not the one that was claiming these were tampered. You said I tampered with these. So how respectful is that? This company needs to work on their customer service. Period. So now, okay, this is the customer service. Now, since he told me that all I have to do is yank these games open because the screws are fake because they're that cheap, I'm going to rip these open and I'm going to compare the boards to the reproductions that I have. All right, well, we are back. We're just going to throw these to the side real quick. We're going to concentrate on Supernova's Arc 3D right now because I have my Back to the Future repro again. So yeah, knowing he said that there are cheap, fake ones, you can just pop them open, then let's pop them open. Just Back to the Future. And there's Wisdom Tree. Keep in mind, this is the only repro I have with the screws like this. All my other repros, I went with the higher quality one. This was the middle quality one. And here's the Wisdom Tree one. You can see. That's always lovely when you see that. Big glob. They couldn't even put a battery in? Are you serious? Battery doesn't even cost, what, $1 or $2? You couldn't even put in a battery? Thank you, Wisdom Tree. You can see the solder marks on the board. So yeah, that's where the battery was soldered on, obviously. Cheap PCB board, cheap globbed on circuit. I mean, the battery, they could have thrown one in, but I guess, yeah, they didn't feel the need. So yeah, here's the difference. Okay, you can see the gold circuit right here compared to the silver here. This one says Nintendo on it. This is made for Nintendo games. This is a proper PCB board compared to the cheap one. First thing I like to see is no globbed on circuit. Actually have chips. Actually have, oh man. So, I mean, there's the back. It is what it is at this point. This is a mid-grade repro. This is a low-grade repro. And this one's actually only mid-grade because I went with the cheaper case. The board's fine. The chips are fine. And what this seller told me, the seller that sold me this, said these cheap ones only last about 3 to 4 years. So, in about 5 years, these are all going to be dying. Yeah, a few of them might last a little bit longer, but these are going to be dead. Wisdom Tree. So there's the circuit boards. I mean, you can see the difference. This one just has nothing but aftermarket chips globbed onto the board, no less. So yeah, I've seen enough. And remember, the reproductions I bought were just from a guy on Taobao. You know, just some random guy. Wisdom Tree is a company. You think they would be willing and they would want to hold up, you know, a good reputation. So they would be willing to get quality cartridges. They went with the cheapest, most lowest quality you could find. They don't work on Retrons. Fine. But you know what, Wisdom Tree? You probably need to put that on your page. Go to the Wisdom Tree site and look at their shop. You will notice it just says, hey, buy this Super Nintendo game for $40. It doesn't say reproduction, doesn't say it doesn't work on Retron. It just says buy this game for $40. One other thing I noticed about this Wisdom Tree Kickstarter, they said they had some free gifts going out, which happened to be manuals for a couple cartridges. Well, they did not mail these gifts. And they even released a statement that said, we will ship them out with your next order. It also said they forgot to mail them out. That's kind of convenient. You forget to mail them out, and then people have to order again. So they will have to place another order to get what you promised. Wisdom Tree Kickstarter. 2 thumbs down.
Yo, Stone, what up, home? The drop off here. City Simp, okay, we gon' pop off here. See the crabs gon' bang right here. In the hallway, hang right there. Drop slang right there. Nigga, please. Beezy, easy, take time out. And look around, I got my gang right here. Yeah, you know, that's how I roll in the street. I'm just 1 second away from the heat. I really mean, I don't want no beef. But if it comes to it,